Welcome back, Insufferable gaming fans. We're here in the underground waterway, treating with the creepy pervert, who has his own boat. Ah, man. If you can grab that candle back there, it drops like $1,000. Having an axe or something helps. Anything that arcs up. So, we've got the, there's that ice mail I was talking about, those things dropping. Good for ice-firing enemies, of which there are admittedly few. If we go this way, we can open up a shortcut. A shortcut to what, you ask? The beginning of the game. Blah-ha-ha. Now, for a certain part coming up, you're going to want to unequip your familiar, so I'm going to do that now before I forget, again, for the Goobu majillionth time. I scream! She screams! Ow! So what we want to do here is, first of all, we want to fly all the way back up here. Or use your boots. Either way. We'll be coming back here once we get the holy symbol, which is located a bit further on. I'll be picking that back up too. We're going to have to go through here and then come back. Whoa, 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 too far. Okay. Now, the reason you don't want your familiar turned on here is because it will kill the enemy that we need to lure over to the bridge. That enemy being that skeleton ape right there. We need to blow the barrel that it throws up while it is bouncing across that bridge. So just lure it forward a bit and let it through. 2 frames, and we can turn our familiar back on. Now down there to the left are the last couple of areas we're going to want to explore, but first things first. We have an item to collect, which will allow us to collect even more items still. Moving on, moving on, moving on. There are just so many of these blasted critters flailing all about the place that it's ridiculous. Anyway, the merman statue allows us to go down here and the ferryman will show up in this room.
I'll guide you to meet your destiny.
So creepy. Anyway, watch out for bats on the way. Don't let the boat leave you behind, because even if you have enough hit points to make it to the end of this area, the boat is necessary to open the big iron shutter door, which is found at the end. So waiting patiently. If you fall off, don't panic. You can still make it back on the boat or back to the entrance. There's that iron shutter I was referring to. And that brings us to this area over here, wherein we find the holy symbol. Symbol Looks remarkably like a snorkel. Or the letter J. Maybe it's a J for Jesus. That's pretty holy. Everyone knows that J for Jesus lets vampires breathe underwater without melting. It's in the Bible, somewhere near the back. But anyway, now we can head down under here, and without fear of losing all of our hit points at record rate, just go ahead and grab all the items we want. Or maybe just all the items we can find. Speaking of items we can find, there's one now. We can sell that for a pretty penny to the librarian. There's a life max up. Very useful. And Knuckle Duster, aka Brass Knuckles, which at this point is useless. I mean, punching things to death is pretty cool and all, but we have a super great sword that was obtained fairly early on through a stroke of luck. See that item down there? That's a nunchuck. Not the greatest weapon we can get, but a nonetheless. You might want to go ahead and grab it for completion's sake, and if you haven't gotten something better by now. It's a two-handed weapon. It does a little bit less damage than what we have, but it hits twice in one swipe. So you can pretty much double its attack power. Of course, on account of because I'm so awesome, I usually get 3 or 4 hits in when I use my special attack with the weapon I have, making nunchucks less useless than one would think they would be. Maybe I should stop bragging and start actually playing. I'm taking a lot of hits. There's another life max up. Sometimes these fish heads drop an ice brand sword, which would be great if we were fighting a flame-based enemy. I don't plan on fighting any flame-based enemies anytime soon. It also has less overall damage than what we have. We'll be heading down to that area real soon. It just dropped us a free stick of dynamite. That's awesome. Okay. We can grab that pentagram while we're at it. Walking against the water flow. That'll damage everything on the screen. Now that we aren't hurt by water, let's head over here to the other side of this waterfall and pick up the secret boots. They discreetly increase your height. What that means in terms of game is, if you equip them on your optional items, they don't do anything, but they'll make Alucard's sprite a couple of pixels taller. So useful. And another life max up, just because we want those. Oh, that takes care of everything in the underground waterway. Now it's time to head on to the pits of madness and despair. Or maybe the entrance to the underworld. Fly. There we go. Here we are. And this way lies madness. We'll get to the madness soon, but for now it's a good place to stop. So, until next time, this is your old pal Rosser. Take a drink.